Cam Newton. And it really surprised me because, I thought he was going into the abyss.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, every sports page I hit is Cam Newton. And he's been talking, he's been chirping. He was at Auburn Pro Day.
Throwing the ball.
And what a coincidence. He's at Auburn Pro Day, which, of course, he ultimately graduated from. Carolina had the number 1 pick then. They have the number 1 pick this year. Yeah,
Whoa, I like that.
Yeah. Pulled a couple strings together there. And one of his comments that he's saying a bunch of stuff, but one of them says, there isn't 32 quarterbacks better than me in the NFL currently. That's not the way. If you want to make a comeback, that's not the way to go about it.
It's to me, context is everything on this.
Yeah.
It's like you had a chance in New England.
Yeah.
It didn't go well.
Yeah.
You actually came back to Carolina. That didn't go well. Like, you have not done your part of the deal. Like, I get it, when you were let go in Carolina, that was kind of a snub. But you've kind of had 2 separate opportunities where starting jobs fell in your path, and you did not perform.
Yeah.
So don't come at me with there's not 32 guys better, if you had gone to if you had been pushed out of Carolina, whatever you want to consider that from him. And I thought it was a little disrespectful at the time.
Right.
But if you went somewhere and you never got on the field because they had a guy and you were backing him up and that was clear, or you had some sort of hard luck situation where you went somewhere, maybe started for a couple weeks and got injured and then they let you go because you're older guy, I might be down for this. But right now, no, man, I'm not buying this at all.
I will say this, though. The New England stint, I think, was better than a lot of people thought it was. Because if you remember, when he first got there, his first couple of games were very strong.
Very good, yeah.
He had a 400-yard game in there. He had a 200 and 100-yard rush.
And he explained on the podcast.
Then he got COVID.
Yeah, he got COVID, and they kind of came back and never got going again. Really.
Right.
I kind of get that, but then again, you end up in Carolina.
Yeah.
And
You
they
had
didn't bring you
opportunities after
back to be a starter, but the things fell where you got an opportunity.
Yeah.
And you just didn't really perform.
Yeah.
And it's a performance business, and so. I can't just hold on to that and say, oh, man, hey, you're probably right. 32 teams, you got to be better than somebody.
Right.
But
the thing is right. That's my thing is, whatever, whether it's true or not, if you really want to get back in the NFL, that's just not the way to go about it. If you want to do the pro day, that's not normal. That's not a normal occurrence for a veteran to go and be at pro days and whatever.
Yeah.
As a plea to get back in the league or whatever. But that's fine. Show what you've been, show your whatever you're worth now. Show that you can still sling the ball is what I mean, and see what happens. And just go from there, because your aim right now should be to be a backup quarterback. And if you want to be a backup quarterback in a situation where you could possibly see yourself having a chance, to play. You don't have to be a backup in Kansas City or whatever to where, only if Mahomes get hurt, that's your only chance.
Yeah.
There's about 15 to 16 jobs where you could be a backup and have a legitimate chance to fight down the line.
I agree. I would say this. I like the move of throwing at the Auburn Pro Day.
Okay.
It was a low key way to get yourself in front of some eyes.
Yeah.
I thought it was very clever. To me, when you make this sort of statement publicly and you haven't performed like that, it speaks to a level of delusion of who you are.
Yeah.
And that will offset. No matter how well he threw during and performed during the pro day itself, people are still going to, this guy really thinks he's a starter. Like, he hasn't had a good starting run since 3 games in New England 3 seasons ago.
Exactly.
That's just not the way to do it. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you come in and you look for a backup job and just kind of go from there. But I do in a way, it's kind of humbling to go to a pro day as a 10, 11 year vet of the league and do that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
And we're kind of bashing Cam, but I do want to say, like, he's been a guy that's big in, like, the 7-on-7 scene, and I think he does a really nice job, like, relating to and working with younger kids and players, and he has value in that. And I don't have any axe to grind against him, but I just can't endorse a statement when you haven't performed in 2 opportunities.
Yeah, it's just a statement. You know, I was thinking about this on the ride in. I think of Cam, you know, in a lot of similar ways as you think to of Jameis Winston. Like I'm a Cam guy because you know he had that stint at Florida, and I'm a Gator guy, and we had him first or whatever, and I always want to see him do well, and and again, like the Bears with Justin Fields, because of the what you said, how he works with younger players and that brand he's built. You know, you go in and you sort of be a mentor to one of these young guys like a Justin Fields or whatever the case may be with these other guys in the league. I think that could be a great fit as well, and he can show his value and things of that nature. And then you get behind a running quarterback, you sort of run a quarterback yourself. Those guys get hurt. You get a good 3-4 game span. You know, Tyler Huntley last year with the Ravens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get behind a guy like Lamar, you get a good run.
Yeah.
And he even got a playoff game out of that. So, we'll see. But remarks like that, the NFL, we know how these owners, they can get turned off so fast. And this is one of those type of comments like, oh, he thinks he can still be a starter in this league, and we don't view him as that. We just won't touch him right now, and that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's the most likely outcome is nobody touches him.
Yeah. Let's see here. Grace, Kobe, Cam, let it go. You had an excellent career. How much more can you realistically accomplish? Andrew Luck isn't ashamed to have his career stopped by injury. Why are you? And there are 32 better. But your time is up. I'd also take a prime Cam over Josh Allen. That's
Interesting take. I mean, that season, you know, when he was MVP and then went to the Super Bowl,
that was special.
Like it felt like he distorted the game because, like, I remember watching, and if they got in like a third and less than 5, like, you felt like the defense was screwed because he was such a threat to run.
Yeah.
And you had to account for that, and then by accounting for that, you were exposed on the back end to a degree, and it just was like he literally had you in just a bad situation.
You know what it looked like? It looked like Jalen Hurts. This run.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it looked a lot like that.
It looked a lot like that.
Yeah,
and Cam was a more physical in that aspect, but yeah, it looked a lot like that. But yeah, I totally agree. That MVP run and that year to the Super Bowl, that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
Because
I was not a particularly fan of that Carolina team, but like watching, like from the perspective of not wanting them to win, you're kind of like, I mean, we just got to get to like 3rd and long, so running's off the table, and then we got a chance. But like he'd get to those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. It's like, how do you defend this?
They had a couple guys on there. Steve Smith, I like Steve Smith. He's an underrated receiver. Wasn't Luke Kuechly, was he a young linebacker on that team?
I think he was in his peak or prime. Okay. Yeah, he was very good at that time.
They had some guys.
Davis was another guy.
Davis was another linebacker.
They had a very good team. I mean, they were solid, and they just really, they kind of had a balance with him at his peak that was just tough to deal with, man.
That's it.